and welcome to the EBPL podcast, brought to you by the East Brunswick Public Library. We are known as our community's living room, so in this podcast, you will enjoy original, exclusive content, as well as encore presentations from events you have missed. This event was presented as part of our Just for the Health of It initiative. Just for the Health of It is a proprietary health literacy program developed by the East Brunswick Public Library to promote health literacy in Middlesex County. To learn more, visit justforthehealthofit.org. Now, enjoy the program.
Welcome and thank you for joining us this afternoon for today's Lunch and Learn, Supporting Your Immune System with Good Nutrition. My name is Kathy Churn and I'm a Consumer Health Librarian at East Brunswick Public Library. Today's program is brought to you by the library's Just for the Health of It initiative to promote community health and wellness. Our speaker today is Amanda Fano, MS, Registered Dietitian at Far Hills Pharmacy. Amanda develops individual nutrition and supplement protocols while providing one-on-one nutrition counseling through an all foods fit approach. She specializes in nutrition interventions for chronic disease such as diabetes management, gastrointestinal complications, thyroid complications, cardiovascular health, weight management, etc. Amanda received her BS in Nutrition and Dietetics from Montclair State University and her MS in Nutrition from the College of St. Elizabeth. She is a licensed registered dietitian through the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and has been actively working in the field for 5 years. Please be aware that this talk is being recorded. Please keep your microphones muted and your webcams off. When available, the recording will be ready to view at ebpl.org/YouTube. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat box. Our speaker will answer questions at the end of the talk. Please be aware that our speaker cannot provide medical advice to attendees during this program. And without further ado, I'll turn things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Kathy. Hi, everyone. My name's Amanda. And yes, I'm the dietitian with Far Hills Pharmacy as well as Milltown Pharmacy. Welcome. And we will be talking today about supporting your immune system, following, good nutrition. So let's get started. Okay, perfect. So how food affects the immune system. So basically, if you have there's evidence that micronutrient deficiencies alter our immune response. Such as if you have any deficiencies in zinc, selenium, minerals, or even vitamins, your immune system can be altered. So we want to make sure that we don't have any deficiencies, vitamins, minerals, and make sure we are trying to get it through diet. So 70% of the immune system resides within our gut. So we want to make sure that our gut health is, up to par. So basically, making sure you are taking certain, foods in or certain minerals or vitamins. And we'll talk about some of the foods that I would recommend in the upcoming slides. Okay, so the standard American diet is basically the diet that's more prone around our area. It's high in saturated fats, high in sugars, high in carbohydrates, the not so good carbs. And so we want to make sure that we are having more of a balanced diet. And I'll go over what a balanced diet looks like. More isn't necessarily better. So you hear, take some of these nutrients such as, vitamin C or vitamin D. And sometimes it doesn't mean that more is better. You want to make sure you're having the correct amount for your body. And so, of course, incorporating immune supportive foods can definitely help our immune system. So this is the balanced diet I was talking about. So basically trying to follow this plate. You can try to get all those nutrients in. So in the top right, you can see, whole grains and starches. So whole grains would be considered like oats, quinoa, brown rice, barley, farro, any grains like that. And then starches would be more of the starchy vegetables. So the starchy vegetables would be potatoes, corn, peas, winter squash, turnips. So that would all be in that category. And those are the ones that have more like higher carbohydrates. And then our bottom right-hand corner of protein. So we want to make sure we are getting in our lean sources of protein, such as, some listed salmon, lean, if you eat animal-based proteins, lean chicken, like chicken breast, turkey, and then also plant-based proteins, such as lentils, beans, tofu, nuts, seeds. Those are also plant-based sources of protein. And then we have over to our left, the top left corner, are non-starchy veggies. So pretty much the non-starchy veggies are anything I didn't mention in the starchy vegetables. So like our leafy greens, broccoli, eggplant, carrots, cauliflower. And then the bottom left is our fruits. And then we also have some healthy fats that we want to make sure we are taking in as well, such as our oils. Olive oil is a really good one. Avocados are a really healthy fat. Also nuts do provide healthy fats as well. So trying to get all of these food groups in at every meal is recommended. Of course, sometimes it's not as easy to get everything at one meal, but trying to fit it in throughout the day can definitely help and help build our immune system. Okay, so now now that we went over what our plate should look like, I'm going to talk about 8 foods that I would recommend to support our immune systems. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is kefir. So you may have heard of it, you may not have, but kefir's similar to like a liquid yogurt, and it contains probiotics. So remember in the beginning of the presentation when I was saying our gut health is super important for our immune system. So probiotics are very important to have, good gut health, which leads to good immune system. So this kefir drink provides probiotics, and yogurts do too. But this one provides also whey protein, which is high in glucosinolates, which is an antioxidant. So we can get this in the grocery stores by the yogurt sections. And it is also a good source of vitamin D, which also does help regulate the immune system. And, I like to add it to smoothies. It's a good source of protein. And you can use it as liquid in smoothies, or you can just drink it like that too. But it may taste a little like, I guess, like it tastes like plain yogurt. So it's up to you how you prefer it, but you can add, fruit to it and blend it together. So this is a good source to add to your diet if you can have dairy sources. And if you can't have dairy, right? So if you're someone who has a dairy sensitivity or just can't tolerate, dairy or allergic, you can always do probiotics they have dairy-free yogurts that they add probiotics to. You can also add a supplement of probiotic, and I'll talk about supplements at the end. Okay. So the second food I wanted to talk about is cruciferous vegetables. So again, the glucosinolates, this antioxidant, glutathione, the cruciferous veggies have a good amount of the glutathione. So trying to get these in throughout the day, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, you can see them listed, bok choy. So I would also, a little tip, I would also cook it. I would try to blanch it actually. If you've heard of blanching, it's basically like when you you cook the vegetables, you boil them or steam them, and then you stick them in ice water to stop the cooking process. That way it doesn't lose its source of vitamin C or drop in the amount of vitamin C content, because when it's overcooked or when it is cooked, prolonged cooking can drop the content of vitamin C. So that's just a little tip for these vegetables and for any vegetables. But yeah, so it's okay to cook them, just blanch them if you can. And these veggies also contain great sources of folate, vitamin A, vitamin C. So these are all important for our immune system. So trying to get these in. Okay. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are super good for our immune system, super healthy. They contain B vitamins, riboflavin specifically, which is an antioxidant. Again, I keep talking about antioxidants. So what is it? Basically, it fights free radicals, and free radicals are altered or increased in our body when we have a high amount of stress, right? Oxidative stress. So, eating these antioxidants or consuming them can help fight these free radicals that are damaging to our cells. One mushroom that I think is important to consume is a shiitake mushroom. It has an increased intake with immunity. So trying to get shiitake mushrooms in your day. You can always saute them on the stove with other veggies. You can put them in a stir fry. You can also use them in a bolognese or in stews. So those are some good ways to use mushrooms. And they also provide beta glucans, which increase immune defense. So again, all of these things that we're talking about help increase our immune system. Okay. So red bell peppers, this is another superfood for our immune system. And it does contain 2 times the vitamin C as citrus fruits. So I would definitely try to add this somewhere into your daily meals or snacks. I like to dip bell peppers in hummus, and you can eat it that way. You can cook them. Again, you can make them in soups, stews, anything like that. I wanted to mention that red bell peppers actually have a higher amount of vitamin C than like a green bell pepper. So just keep that in mind. They do have a little more. They also, can increase blood cell production, support epithelial barrier function, again, the antioxidant activity, and can decrease the length of, cold symptoms. So this is a good source of beta carotene, and that can also enhance immune function. Again, it provides vitamin C, right? But you want to make sure that you are eating these throughout the day versus just at one meal or one sitting, because what happens is our body doesn't produce or store vitamin C It's a water-soluble vitamin. So therefore, you want to make sure you are having it throughout the day so our body can continue to get the vitamin C in. Okay. And then the next food I wanted to talk about, beans. So beans are a great source of prebiotics. So we talked about probiotics. So now let's talk about prebiotics. So prebiotics are basically the food for probiotics. So when you think about the probiotics, in our body, they need some assistance in multiplying. So basically, when you provide the foods that give your body prebiotics or are a source of prebiotics, the probiotics can feed off of that and multiply. And that's what we want. So, this also has an effect on inflammation system. Beans contain iron, which helps protective antibodies. And they also contain zinc, which is a cofactor in a lot of enzymes with that influence organ function. And so another tip, a tip with beans. So a lot of people you hear, feel bloated after eating beans. So, or even, any source of legumes. So try chickpeas or lentils. They're a little less on the bloating scale. Or another tip is soaking your beans overnight. So if you're cooking them from like the dried bean versus buying them canned, you can soak them overnight. And that will help with the bloating sensation. Okay, salmon or fatty fish. This provides omega-3 fatty acids, which support our white blood cell production and decrease inflammation. So trying to get, any of these fish listed, at least I would say 2 to 3 times a week, trying to get fatty fish in, salmon, tuna, sardines, mackerel, trout. And it's rich in an antioxidant called astaxanthin. You can also, use it in different ways. Salmon, you can try making salmon burgers out of it, or tuna burgers you can do with the canned salmon, or you can even just get the canned salmon and have it as snacks on crackers. So there's different ways of having this or providing it or in your diet versus just thinking of like, I have to cook a salmon fillet. Okay, garlic and onions. So they contain a large amount of allicin, which is a compound that supports the immune system. They also have antimicrobial properties, and again, is a source of prebiotics. So garlic and onions are another superfood that I love. And a little tip for garlic is if you crush it and allow it to stand 10 minutes before cooking it, it maintains those beneficial properties that I just talked about. So crushing it before you cook it and letting it sit can help. And then our last superfood, green tea. So green tea has EGCG. I'm not going to try to pronounce that word. But, this enhances immune function. Again, protects against oxidative stress, right? That I was talking about earlier, and has a lot of vitamin C and vitamin E. So matcha green tea does actually have a lot more of that EGCG antioxidant compared to regular green tea. So if you're someone who is okay with the caffeine content, because it also does have more caffeine in it, you can try it, see if you like it. But You can always do decaf green tea too, or just the regular green tea, and you can still get some antioxidants. I would say trying to have this as an alternative to coffee could be beneficial or can help, because you're still getting some caffeine if that's what you use it for. But yeah, this provides some antioxidants. So I would try to have some of this in your diet. And yes, you can have it hot or cold. Okay, so that's the food side of things. So now talking about supplements. So I always tell everyone and recommend trying to get these nutrients through food and diet first. And then, supplements are to supplement our diet, right? Not to have it and say, oh, I don't need to eat it now. So some supplements I wanted to just talk about, and I mentioned some of these nutrients throughout the presentation when we were talking about the food. So vitamin C, right, helps our immune system. I would recommend around 200 to 500 milligrams for, healthy individuals. If you are sick or higher risk, you can take more. I would, again, separate it throughout the day. So you can take, if you're taking, say, 1,000 a day, you can take 500 in the morning, 500 later on. So I would try that with vitamin C and ester C. If you look on the bottom of the slide to the right, you'll see ester C. So ester C basically helps. It's easier on the stomach versus like ascorbic acid or a harder vitamin C that may just irritate your stomach. So it is a better form. Vitamin D3 is also super important for the immune system. So again, trying to get it through food, but a lot of food sources don't contain vitamin D. It's hard to get it through food. So the main source of vitamin D is actually sunlight. And, days like today or, in the winter, it's tough to get sunlight. And, sunlight meaning your skin exposed. So your arms, your chest, your face for 10 to 15 minutes without sunscreen. Because the sunscreen blocks the vitamin D. Of course, ask your practitioner, but the sunlight is the main source of vitamin D. So, if you can't go out in the sun a lot or you are deficient, I would definitely recommend checking your levels of your micronutrients. But yeah, so for vitamin D3, for healthy individuals, I'd probably take around 1,000 to 2,000 international units daily. If you're not feeling well, or, you have a virus going on and you're, you can take like a strong amount, like I would say 10,000 or even 5,000 for a couple weeks and then gradually decrease down from where you're at. They also do have liquid vitamin D3. I find liquid is easier. It's also better absorbed. So there's liquid, and they also have vitamin D3 with vitamin K2. So if you're someone who is not on any blood thinners, you can take, vitamin K2, and that actually helps increase the absorption of vitamin D3. And our next supplement that I wanted to talk about, or nutrient, is zinc. So again, 10 to 20 milligrams per day if healthy, if not feeling sick or anything. But if you are feeling sick or recovering, I would probably recommend, anywhere from 25 and up. I wouldn't go over 50 though. And then our omega-3 fatty acids, I would say, if you're not getting in a lot of fish during the week, fatty fish, or even, flax seeds, walnuts, chia seeds that provide omega-3, you can take a supplement in addition to that. And, I would say around 2 to 4 grams of the omega-3s, EPA and DHA. And then, food isn't the only thing that's important for our immune system, right? Or supplements. We want to make sure that we are practicing good lifestyle habits. So sleep, super important. I would say, limit electronics at night and have like a good pattern of sleep. Electronics can actually disrupt your sleep. So I would try to limit that. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night if you can. It can definitely help boost your immune system. Stress is huge. So we want to try to manage our stress in any way that we can. Meditation, they have like meditation apps. One's called Headspace, and then there's another called Calm. I know you can try them for like free. So, so I would definitely recommend trying those. And, sticking with hobbies that you like to do, exercising, 30 minutes of movement daily is recommended, but I would do something that you enjoy doing. So whether it's walking outside or whether it's yoga, anything like that. And then socialization, right? Talking to people that we love or like being around, making ourselves feel good. So that all of those things can help manage our stress levels. And hydrating, super important. I always carry around this water bottle. It's like 40 ounces. But I would recommend, so typically what's recommended for hydration is half of your body weight in ounces. So, think of if you're 120 pounds, 60 ounces daily. So, it can be, difficult to get that in if you're not used to getting a large amount in, but trying to increase from where you're at already. So just be mindful of it. Recognize how much you are taking in and then increase from there. And then, don't smoke, consume alcohol in moderation. These things can decrease our immune system. Alrighty. So that is the end of this presentation. This is my information, website, my email. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns. And now we'll take questions.
Okay, so if anyone has any questions, type them into the chat box. There are some questions in there already. Does timing matter in eating 3 meals at a given time every day?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, timing does matter. So I would try to be more consistent, not go. So for example, what I mean about that is, if you're eating breakfast at 8 a.m., right? And then you're not going until 3 p.m. and eating lunch. Yes, that matters. I would eat, lunch a little earlier, try not to go too long without eating during the day. Everyone's different though. So it depends how your body functions. But I would recognize, what works for you with the timing. At night, yes, I would give your body a little rest from eating. That's our natural sleep cycle. So it depends when you start eating, when you end eating. But I would, if you're someone who is hungry, I would give yourself that food, listen to your body, be mindful about it. And you can even have snacks in between too.
And another question, is it recommended to drink kefir or probiotics daily?
Is it recommended to drink, kefir or probiotics daily? Yeah, I would definitely try to get probiotics in daily, whether it's through the kefir I was talking about, or whether it's through yogurt or other sources, food sources, or if you need to supplement as well.
Okay. And then another question, what is a good supplement of probiotics if you are vegan?
So orthobiotic is a good probiotic. It's by Orthomolecular Products. That one's a good one.
Then there's a question about if dried shiitake mushrooms can be used.
Yeah, you can do dried. Absolutely.
Does soaking beans or boiling them, then dumping the water before cooking, strip the beans of nutrients?
Nope, it doesn't. It can actually, just like I was saying, help kind of break them down easier.
Can buttermilk be used instead of kefir?
So buttermilk would probably be a higher fat content. So I would just double check on the nutrient facts, just to see what the saturated fat content of buttermilk is. I would probably not use it instead of kefir. I mean, if you're looking to do it instead of like for baking, that's fine. But for nutrient wise, I probably wouldn't. Yeah. So for kefir, if you don't like the taste of it, again, you can add it to smoothies. So if you're adding it to smoothies, you're adding, fruit and other things to kind of sweeten it and kind of alter that flavor and make it more appealing. So I would try it that way. Or you can always, try the yogurts and stuff, or the yogurt drinks too, that are low in sugar.
And is there a website for recipes that would provide a balanced diet?
Yeah, so eatright.org, they have recipes, and that's like the Dietitian Academy website. So I would go there for recipes and stuff.
What is a good source of iron for vegetarians?
Beans. I would definitely increase your beans. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it for questions. So I want to say thank you, Amanda, for taking the time to present on this topic and for answering all of our questions. And for everyone who joined us today, thank you for joining us, and take care and stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode. You can enjoy our previous episodes by subscribing now using your favorite podcasting app. To learn more about the East Brunswick Public Library, visit our website at www.ebpl.org.